Today on the Morning Edition, an officer-involved shooting in Fairbanks over the weekend leaves one man dead. We'll share the details and what we know so far. Plus, a string of fires, including a home explosion in East Anchorage Saturday night into Sunday morning, leaving questions lingering in their wake. We'll bring you the latest. And later, it's the highway to the danger zone, revving up her engine. The hotter the intensity, this reporter took a flight over the bay with the Blue Angels. We'll check it out as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Monday morning, everyone. I know that's something on your bucket list, Aaron.
Yeah, maybe one day. That would be, something that I look forward to.
Yeah, not for me.
Doubt it would ever happen, but, one can always dream.
Well, it was a wet weekend, but maybe we needed it. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we have actually been dealing with some dry conditions for this month. So windy rain certainly has been beneficial. We are watching a chance for some showers today and into our Tuesday. And we're also holding on to some cooler weather, not only here in South Central, but statewide. We are seeing some of those cooler conditions. In fact, over the weekend, many areas did see some fall-like conditions when it came to those temperatures. We're currently at 54 degrees. You can see those winds quite gusty, up to about 30 to 35 miles per hour. We will favor some of those winds sticking around throughout the day. But as far as those temperatures, we're in the 40s and the 50s to start off your Monday morning. We do have some hit or miss showers that are with us, and temperatures this afternoon may not even budge above about 8 to 10 degrees across South Central. So we're not going to see any significant warming taking hold. You can see just some isolated showers across South Central. We've got a band that is pushing just north of Anchorage, out over just north of Palmer, and then you can see some more rain showers as you head into western parts of the Susitna Valley and then out towards Kachemak Bay. So these are some hit or miss activity that is staying with us this morning, and we are going to continue to favor some of these ongoing showers as we head today and into tomorrow. We've got some of that shower building north into the interior, as well as some rain out towards southwest. So many areas of the state holding on to some of these wet conditions to start off your Monday, along with those this cooler weather pattern. You can see highs today largely will stay in the upper 50s and the lower 60s across South Central. So be prepared for those cooler conditions to stick around for today. Now, coming up in my full forecast, we'll be talking more about this rain with this wet start to the week for some, and as well as the cooler weather trend, which will come with warmer conditions to follow. We'll also have a look at your holiday weekend outlook. I'll have those details in that 7-day for you coming up.
Our top story this Monday morning, an officer-involved shooting leaves a man dead in Fairbanks Sunday evening. The Fairbanks Police Department says it happened in the Bentley Mall parking lot just after 6 p.m. It says the situation involved 2 Fairbanks police officers and 1 Alaska State Trooper. FPD says the suspect was shot and he died at the hospital, and no officers were injured. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone who witnessed the situation is asked to call FPD. The Alaska Supreme Court will be taking up the Dan J. Sullivan case, and a decision is expected by Tuesday. This comes after an Anchorage Superior Court judge ordered Dan J. Sullivan onto the ballot. He's vying for the seat for the first time and is from Petersburg. According to the order and opening notice, oral arguments are slated to happen today over Zoom. The document also says that the decision is expected before noon Tuesday. Court documents indicate that is also the deadline to print ballots. More details, including the full timeline of the events in this case, are on our website right now. State Senator Matt Clayman and his running mate announced their withdrawal from the governor's race Sunday. The Democratic senator who represents Anchorage says he feels confident in what other candidates can offer, and he looks forward to continuing his service in the state Senate. There are many other people running for the position. We have those details on our website. Over the weekend, the Anchorage Fire Department responded to 5 structure fires, and one of them was a house explosion. AFD says 4 of them were back-to-back, spanning from around 9 p.m. Saturday to 1 a.m. Sunday, and the 5th was around 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. 3 structures were in Anchorage's Fairview neighborhood, just blocks from each other. One was in the nearby North Star area, and the last one was in East Anchorage. This video is from a mixture of those fires. AFD says 3 of the fires involved gas lines, meters, or leaks, and the other one was a home explosion.
While the home was very considerably damaged, the fire itself was out pretty quickly, so the crews were able to just put out hot spots and make sure it didn't rekindle back up.
This is video a neighbor captured of the explosion. Megan Peters with AFD says the home was not occupied at the time and it was considerably damaged. She says right now it's not safe for investigators to go in the building, so crews are working on shoring it up. She also says the overnight fires were so tightly clustered, it put strain on the fire stations that normally respond to those areas.
And what it does is when those other calls for service happen, whether it's a car wreck or a heart attack, somebody's unconscious, the resources that respond to those things are coming from further away. And so everyone's really stepping up to the plate to cover the entire city while they're dealing with something like a structure fire.
AFD says no injuries have been reported. We reached out to NSTAR when we asked if the fires were under investigation. NSTAR said yes, but as of about 3 p.m. Sunday, it said it had not heard of any malicious intent. We also reached out to the Anchorage Police Department, but didn't immediately hear back. On the topic of fires, additional wildfire crews have arrived in central Alaska to fight 2 fires burning within a mile of each other. The wildfires known as the Big Fire and Cecil Fire began on Friday. U.S. Wildland Fire Service says both were caused by lightning. The fires are burning 11 miles from Ruby. As of last night, the Big Fire is about 260 acres and the Cecil Fire is 1,000 acres. Former Typhoon Halong swept through western Alaska last October, but many families are still feeling the impacts. As Danny Tompkins tells us, the Alaska Native Heritage Center held a community gathering to give those that relocated to the Anchorage area a little taste of home.
Food. Something that brings people together.
Yeah, I should take a picture.
For some impacted by former Typhoon Halong last fall, it means connecting to their home.
I came to have some Yupik food.
Bonnie Kashatok showed up for her first community gathering. Yeah. In the kitchen, these chefs cook up something tasty. Fish head, fry bread, and
Native ice cream. Agudak means we're putting things together and mixing them. That's what it means. Agudak, mix them all together.
While the food is tasty, the gathering means something more.
I also came to be around Yupik people that I'm familiar with, with the cultures and the native language.
Especially for her family from Kipnuk.
They were floating and their house ruined.
They relocated to Anchorage, where the food is different.
We're trying to get used to eating out of our village.
To those who haven't tried food like this,
It's very fulfilling. It'll keep you warm for the cold conditions, especially in the winter.
organizers say the donation-fueled event will continue on every 2 weeks. So Bonnie and her family can get a little taste of home. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Well, one family is trying to make their daughter the youngest person to visit all 63 national parks, and Alaska is next on their list. The Sharma family traveled from Chicago to Anchorage to tackle 4 parks: Katmai, Lake Clark, Denali, and Kenai Fjords. The family started visiting parks when their little one was 6 weeks old. They decided to go for the record when a ranger suggested it. The family says trying for a record with a child hasn't been easy, but they say memories like their daughter's first time seeing a waterfall are well worth it.
These might be like little moments that we take for granted, but when you view that same visual from the eyes of your own child, and it just gives you a sense of gratitude towards nature and just kind of slow down and experience it.
The family has visited more than 30 parks. They planned on visiting Katmai on Sunday. Rainbow flags, colorful downtown Anchorage as members of the LGBTQ+ community gathered for the city's Pride Parade. Jace Bertrand was there to learn how the celebration worked to honor the legacies of those that came before.
A little rain wasn't enough to spoil this parade.
And as parade goers make their way down 7th Avenue in downtown Anchorage, organizers say that there is a special emphasis on the history of Pride as this parade nears its 50th anniversary.
Nearly 5 decades ago, Anchorage held its first Pride Parade in 1977. The city was much different back then, and parade goers were forced to take precautions.
Back at that time, you would be afraid of losing your job or afraid of your landlord kicking you out. Some of the people that marched in the early Pride parades put paper bags over their heads and cut holes so that they could see them. That's how much we've changed over the years.
No paper bags could be seen on Saturday, as more than 60 groups and 100 vendors gathered to celebrate diversity in Anchorage.
I think people who are in the LGBTQ community, they feel more comfortable being out, although we do need to respect those who don't. And so this parade really is an awesome moment to really stop and pause and look at where our communities come from and where we're at now.
The Alaska Rainbow Elders were specifically honored at the parade, named Grand Marshals to honor the older generations who laid the foundations of Pride today.
A lot of focus, and rightly so, is on young people coming out, and you know, it's difficult being different sometimes, but you know, we grow up, we get jobs, we become productive adults, and then we get older.
An honoring of the past.
One thing I think about every year is I take a temperature of what's going on in our country and in our state as a gay person, and I can tell you I've never felt more comfortable being in Alaska right now.
And an appreciation of the present.
We're always going to be here, you know, when one rainbow fades, another rainbow pops up.
Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead today on the morning edition, the Scottish Highland Games took place over the weekend as well, bringing out the bagpipes, kilts, and the Scottish heritage that still runs strong here in the last frontier. We'll show you some of the highlights.
We do have some showers today across South Central, really a good portion of the state. I'll have more on that cooler weather the next few days. But first at sunrise, 425 in Anchorage, 518 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Well, welcome back, and look at there. We got the Katmai National Park live cams up right now. We finally have a bear for the first time, Aaron, this season, and it looks like he's having some breakfast.
Yeah, he's just chomping away. He or she just chomping away there,
yeah,
and enjoying the morning, which does feel kind of fallish across parts of the state. We saw those cooler conditions over the weekend, rain building in, 48 in Talkeetna, 52 degrees in Fairbanks. Along the slope, those temperatures sitting in the 30s. We've got 39 degrees out towards Gamble. Not a bad start to the morning, but considering it has been cool the past few days, we are going to see again another cool afternoon as those temperatures across a good portion of the state will stay in the 50s, possibly some lower 60s. So we've got our jet stream, which is locking that warmer air in place well to our south, meaning across a good portion of the state, we've got this troughing pattern, which is keeping some cloudy conditions as well as some rain showers around. And yes, this means some cooler weather. So we're going to see that stick around through at least Tuesday, and then we'll begin to slowly warm back into the mid to upper 60s. Not expecting any significant warmth, but we will see temperatures warm back into the 70s or possibly near 70 degrees for South Central later this week. You can see across the state, we've got some ongoing spotty to isolated showers from South Central north into the interior. We've also got some rain as you head out towards southwest Alaska, and then as you head out towards parts of the eastern Beaufort Seacoast, there is a winter weather advisory that remains in effect until 10 p.m. tonight for mixed precip. And the biggest concern will be some freezing rain accumulations, which will be possible from a trace to about 1/10 of an inch. And again, that is for areas out towards Kaktovik, where we are expected to see that potential for some wintry mix. Now, across South Central, we can't rule out some of those isolated showers as we head throughout the day, largely holding on to that cloud coverage, and those temperatures will slowly warm. We'll see many areas largely staying in the 50s for your Monday. We may see a few locations managing to warm into the lower 60s, but don't be surprised with some of those showers that we are going to see sticking around today. That could keep some areas just a few degrees cooler. We'll see the best chance for some rain for your Monday and into Tuesday for areas of the valley and into the Copper River Basin, but you can see even as you head along Turnagain Arm out towards Prince William Sound, even here in Anchorage, we'll see our fair share of seeing at least some showers passing through as we head from today on into our Tuesday. So wet weather still with us, nothing widespread, but that will keep some cloud coverage around. And as a result of that, temperatures will be a bit on the cooler side. So we are going to keep some of these showers for your Monday and into Tuesday. And again, the better chance will be into the valley as well as Copper River Basin. This is where we could see some locally heavier amounts, anywhere from a quarter to about half an inch of rain. From the Kenai into Anchorage, we'll likely pick up less than about a tenth of an inch of rainfall accumulation, if not some locally heavier amounts. So we are going to continue to favor some of those wet conditions. And it has been a dry June across South Central, so any rain certainly is beneficial. You can see statewide, those temperatures warming into the 50s and the 60s for many areas, 64 degrees in Fairbanks. And then that 7-day forecast showing that as we head through the week, we do kind of dry out. We'll begin to see temperatures warming once more, mid to upper 60s, possibly near 70 by Thursday. And then as we head into the holiday weekend, Kristen, we will hold on to some cloud coverage, but temperature-wise, mid to upper 60s. If you're heading out to the parade this weekend, shouldn't see any significant issues.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, Aaron. Kilts, cooking, and bagpipes. The Alaska Scottish Highland Games returned for its 45th year. Jace Bertrand stopped by the games to see how Alaska embraced some Scottish culture.
Over the weekend, the Alaska State Fairgrounds in Palmer became a tiny version of the British Isles as the Alaska Scottish Highland Games took over the area to bring a bit of Celtic tradition to the last frontier.
Scattered bits of rain and wind made the fairgrounds feel just like home for those looking to embrace the Highlands. While some fairgoers were here to enjoy the attractions, others came to appreciate their heritage.
I have always wanted to reconnect with my Scottish roots and sort of explore the Stewart family name. And so I'm really, really glad to be able to do that in this sort of setting.
Dozens of attractions were set up for guests, including animals, reenactments, blacksmithing, and of course, the games themselves.
Yes, come on! All right. Keep it going. Keep it going.
We have the most vendors we've ever had. We have 196 vendors this year. We have 119 athletes on our heavy events. We have the most strongmen we've ever had. So yeah, we're looking at a lot of people coming out this year.
Both a fun event for the family and the chance to learn about new cultures.
We've got a lot of Scottish heritage up here in Alaska, so more than bringing Scotland to Alaska, I feel like it's reminding people of the Scottish heritage and the Scotch heritage we have here.
Now, before the games took place, I was lucky enough to be able to try out some of the sports myself to see how hard they really are. You can check out that story on our website. Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Well, over 50 years ago, a man by the name of Joe Reddington Sr. wanted to preserve the historic trail to Nome that brought life-saving medicine to the community. Known as the Sarum Run, the method of transportation used in 1925 was, of course, sled dogs. Now known as the father of the Iditarod, Reddington Sr. organized the first Iditarod in 1973, and today his great-grandson is following his trail.
It means a lot to me. I really love to keep the tradition going, and I love mushing dogs. It's surreal. Everything feels surreal because it's coming up. I'm really excited about like the more technical areas of the trail. Like it's fun. I like almost falling off my sled. Like I've been drugged so much, and I think it's really fun trying to navigate through tough trails, and it's a blast.
Isaac is believed to be the 7th Reddington overall to compete in the race, including his grandfather, Ramey, his dad, Ray Jr., and his uncle, Ryan, who is the only Reddington to win the Iditarod so far. Just a 17-year-old high school student at Reddington High School, but come next March, he will be 18 and taking a dozen or so dogs down the same trail his great-grandfather did a half-century ago. He was the third of what ended up being a total of 22 mushers who signed up for Iditarod 2027 on opening day, including veterans Sydney Ball, running her third straight, and Jeff Dieter signing up for his 10th race overall, both doing it a bit for themselves and for their world-class athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, we're coming back again. I mean, it's pretty addicting out there. So by the time I crossed the finish line, I was like, all right. And the dogs are just that right, perfect age. They're all kind of peaking and looking good. And so it'd be a shame to not do it again for the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, these athletes are amazing. So my whole team I've raised from puppies. So watching these guys, as they're born, as they're stumbling around as little 2-week-old puppies, 3 years later going to run 1,000 miles, really, I mean, that's a lot of time that they've invested into becoming all-stars and a lot of time that I've invested into getting them to that point. And that bond that we have is like, people think that they have a good relationship with their pet dog, and I'm sure they do, but no one has a relationship like mushers have with their sled dog. The time investment is amazing.
And here are the 22 mushers who signed up on day one of registration, including last year's runner-up Travis Beals alongside Matt Hall and Riley Deitch, who were top 10 finishers, with a total of 15 veterans and 7 rookies. One notable name absent is 2-time reigning champion Jesse Holmes, though he was passionate about returning after last year's victory and still has plenty of time to sign up with the standard entry fee deadline, November 30th, which qualified mushers can sign up even the week of the race as the countdown to Iditarod 55 is officially on.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.